Hey there, and welcome to tip 19 in our continuing series, Leverage the Science of Happiness to Increase Performance, Productivity, and Profitability. If you've got this book, it's fantastic. These videos are intended to complement and help you move through the tips. If you don't have the book and you want it, go to happinessatworknow.com and you can download a copy for free right there. Okay, so tip number 19 is shift your perspective. Now, this one is so good for when you're dealing with a situation that feels like a problem to you, or maybe you feel like you've been wronged or slighted in some way, or you're dealing with some challenge that just, it just feels heavy. And you just can't even see the other side of it, right? And so very often when we have a negative event or a negative situation like this, we tend to assign personal blame. And we tend to view it as permanent, right? So for example, let's say you were going for a job or a promotion and you didn't get it. And so you're feeling bad about that, right? Would you normally say, oh, I didn't get it because, I'm not good enough? Or would you say, I didn't get it because they want someone who has more experience? Now, there's a difference in those two, right? So if we say, I didn't get it because I'm not good enough, not only are we sort of putting that on us as like, it's ours, we own it, it's all our fault, but we're also creating like this permanent situation, like I'm not good enough. Like, how do you fix that, right? Like, I'm not good enough is like, we all have those feelings about I'm not good enough, but it's so broad at the same time. So not only does it feel personal, but it also feels permanent, like I may never be good enough. But if you take on the other perspective, which is more factual, right? It doesn't blame you. It simply states the facts, which is they wanted someone with more experience. Maybe they wanted someone who had a skill set that you don't have in terms of experience. Well, guess what? That's not your fault. That's not a personal thing. It's also not permanent, because if you really want that job or that promotion, guess what? You can go and learn that skill. You can go for that job or that promotion in another 6 months, a year, whatever it takes to learn that and have that experience that they want, right? So you've changed your perspective from, oh, it's me and I can't change it and it's, permanent, to, wait a minute, this is easy to fix. It's temporary and it's not about me. It's what they wanted. It's about them. And so if I choose, I can go fix that. I can go address it, right? So if you tend to blame yourself in situations like this, think about rewriting the story about the event or what's happening with a renewed factual perspective. Because when you use that self-blame approach, right? Like oh, I didn't get it because I'm not good enough, essentially it's negatively impacting your mental and physical health, believe it or not. And that's what the research shows, right? But when you use the factual approach, where it's not self-blame, it's not permanent, but it's factual, it leads to much more optimism and better performance, because you spring back so fast, right? If you're going from that, oh, it was me and I just, I'm not good enough, guess what? It's going to take a long time to get over that, if you do at all, really. But if you come from that perspective of, oh, well, they wanted someone with more experience, well, it's like a pasha, moving on, right? It's like water off a duck's back. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't drag you down. In fact, it may even propel you to move forward in a new way, right? So shift your perspective. Don't take the self-blame approach when you're dealing with negative events or negative situations. Look at the situation objectively and really look at the facts and rewrite the story from a factual perspective. I promise you, it will feel much less personal and it will feel much less permanent. Probably you can do something about it. It's temporary. And you will move forward and get over this negative incident much faster than if you dwell and ruminate on it and blame yourself. All right, so that is tip number 19. Work on shifting your perspective when you're dealing with negative events. And that is part of our ongoing series of Leverage the Science of Happiness to Increase Performance, Productivity, and Profitability. If you want the book, just go to happinessatworknow.com and you can download your copy for free. Thanks, and I'll see you in tip number 20.